popo thing is water paper, but this motherfucking Grey Goose, baby.
It's time. Your triple bogey, long shot parlay, full send degenerates had a place to call home. Look no further. It's the D-Gen Podcast.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the D-Gen Podcast. I'm your host, Wayne Wagyu, alongside my fellow co-host, Mikey Rom. Huge podcast in store for you guys today. We're talking NFL. We're talking picks. Week 1. Super excited, super fired up. Before we get into it, as always, we have some housekeeping. Sleeper. That's the new promo on this app. You're going to use that Sleeper promo of RF-DGen Podcast to get a 100% deposit match in your first deposit up to $100. More opportunity to cash big this NFL season, Mikey Rom. And as always, longtime sponsor of the DGen Podcast, Sunday Swagger. You go to sundayswagger.com and use that other promo code, DGen15. You get a 100%. Not 100% deposit match, Mike. You gotta get a 15%.
I know.
15. Yeah, I know. We'd all like 100% deposit match in your Sunday Swagger. We're gonna reel it in though. 15% off your bag at checkout on sundayswagger.com. And as always, we're sipping some nice cold Cape Cod craft cocktails today. I'm on the vodka cram. What do you want?
I got vodka grapefruit today with a splash of cranberry.
Well, cheers to that. So,
cheers.
We've been out of the game here a little bit, but no better time to come back and make shit happen than NFL Week 1. Thursday night is a night that I've been dreaming about here for quite a while.
Yeah.
But some other shit's been happening. I mean, we had college football. Any games during college football Week 1 or Week 0 that stood out to you?
Yeah, before we jump into the NFL picks, by the way, it's just today's like Christmas for me. I mean, this is what we all look forward to. We got real life regular season NFL football to bet on and lose money. So, but college. Did you watch Colorado TCU?
I mean, who didn't? I mean, I feel like that's like the main storyline of all college football Week 1. Deion Sanders, we already knew that he had that swag, but play his theme song. I mean,
unbelievable.
It's just the guy is a walking lethal weapon of energy, and how can you not just be on Colorado to go the whole distance this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they were a huge underdog, right? I think it was like 20 points underdog, which
20.5.
Yeah, pretty disrespectful. I mean, I understand, Colorado's coming in with all this hype. I mean, they're like the most hyped team maybe in the past 10 years in college football. And everyone kind of expected them not to live up to their hype. But I think Week 1, we see that, they're here to play. They brought in 75% of their team through the transfer portal. But, Deion Sanders knows what he's doing. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. His son is a very good quarterback. I mean, I feel like nobody was really talking about him to be an NFL caliber quarterback, but all of a sudden people are jumping to first round pick. That might be a bit of an overreaction. We'll see. It's only one game, but he's definitely very good at football, very good at quarterback, and Travis Hunter is probably the best player in the nation. So,
I mean, he's like the Shohei Ohtani of college football.
I mean,
Do we dare?
We might, because like who else is the best wide receiver and the best cornerback on their team at the same time? At a Division I level, let alone like a high school level, like you usually don't really see that too much. So it's kind of crazy.
So what's even crazier is the Heisman odds. If you looked at the Heisman odds, I'm not sure exactly what they started at, but I know they opened up well over 100-1 for both of them to win the Heisman. Now each of them 40-1. That's an enormous jump just after Week 1 overreaction.
Yeah,
but maybe something to hop in the bandwagon with. One other thing I want to touch on about the college football before we dip into our NFL picks here. Dabo Swinney, all right? R.I.P. Dabo Swinney,
Bum.
all right?
Bum.
I mean, he's a good guy. I've been a fan of Dabo in the past, but with that being said, it's kind of like, what have you done for me now? And he hasn't done shit. It might be time for Clemson to finally, cut ties and figure out a different option because he is riding off into the sunset.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I know you've liked him in the past. I've never liked Dabo. He always gave me like weird like serial killer kind of vibes. Like I don't like the way that he acts or talks or really, man, I'm just a hater. Probably just a hater, but I never really liked him. I think he's got pretty lucky with some of these recruiting classes the last 5 years. Obviously, you get Trevor Lawrence going through. It's always going to be a good day. But yeah, I think now his Clemson, the Stars kind of come back to normal and they got waxed this weekend. So
By Mike Krzyzewski's Duke.
Tough.
Fucking basketball
Tough
school.
scenes.
That's a bad
Tough.
look.
It's
That's a bad
terrible.
look. That's like a regular football team getting destroyed by a flag football team
Yeah.
in a real game.
And I don't know if you saw him walking off the field after the game, but the dude looked like he was just in like a spin cycle. He looked lost, like walking across the field. People are trying to talk to him. He's like just like feeling his way through. He's just like you could just see the deer in headlights. So
tunnel vision, like get me inside. Also, I'm gonna butcher his name, but the quarterback that they had last season, he got benched last game of the season last year. Transfer portal to Oregon State, 5 touchdowns week 1.
hey,
Maybe it is Dabo, maybe it isn't. But Detroit Lions on the road visiting Kansas City, Thursday night football. There's already been some news in
Yes.
between. Travis Kelce comes out, hyperextended an ankle or a knee or whatever it may be, hyperextended something that a lot of fantasy owners in particular are worried about, but even people that have put that anytime touchdown scorer Travis
Yeah,
Kelce
tough.
prop in at minus 175 in dear jeopardy right now. Travis Kelce in, Travis Kelce out. I'm not sure where you stand and with him or with him out of the lineup, but where are you at with the lines here, the totals?
yeah. So obviously huge news, right? I mean, RP to everyone that picked Travis Kelce like 5th overall in their fantasy drafts. Like hyperextending a knee, like okay, he might be in jeopardy to miss this week, but that's like a injury that kind of lingers. He might be in some trouble the earlier part of the season, both on the field, like for his team in real life, and for fantasy owners especially. But yeah, I was personally I was in the Lions before this. We got him at plus 6.5 before the news broke. I would be careful with the line movement. I'm sure we're gonna see some overreaction.
It immediately jumped down to 6 as soon as he announced the news.
I mean, I could see it going down to like 4.5. Honestly, so
absolutely.
I like it at 6.5. That's where I got it. But if it starts to dip below 5, I would be cautious.
So surprisingly, 66% of the money is on Kansas City spread right now. I'm actually shocked by that, to be completely honest. I know that Kansas City is obviously a juggernaut. Not saying they're going to fall off the season, but if you look at the wide receivers outside of obviously Travis Kelce, who's the main number 1 guy in that offense, I don't see another guy in their wide receiver set that jumps off the page that I'm like, okay, they can be that number 1 or close to number 1. They got a bunch of like number 2, number 3s. It almost reminds me a lot of the Patriots, just with a much better quarterback.
Yeah.
So to say they're going to blow the socks off Detroit and beat them by more than a touchdown, I don't see. I do like Detroit plus 6.5 in this. I also like the total with Kelce in. Even with Kelce in, I still like them at plus 6.5. He's out. I love it even more. Even if you can't get them at plus 6.5 anymore, it might be smart of you, whoever it is, taking them to tease it back up.
Yeah.
But I with Kelce in, I do like the total over 54.5. So
Okay. Yeah.
moving on to our first Sunday 1:00 game.
Oh, it's gonna be a great day.
Reminder: Sunday 1:00. Guess what? Wayno Wagu's birthday. I turned 33. It's not so glorious to feel 33, but it's a glorious day to be a football fan. So
Yeah.
it kind of takes the attention off of my aging, gross body. God. Anyways, San Fran on the road against Pittsburgh. They're road favorites, minus 2.5. 142 on the money line, 40.5 is the total, Mike. Do you think Kenny Pickett's not getting enough value here, or do you think that the 49ers is going to do their thing like they always have?
It's just funny to me because the first game of the first week of the Sunday slate of the NFL season, and we got a rat line. It's unbelievable how the gambling goes. Like, this is clearly a rat line. Which side is the rat? That's tough to tell. But this is definitely a rat line. I'm going to go with the mousetrap pick, Steelers plus 2.5. I'm very high on the Steelers this year. I love what they're doing down there. Offensively, Najee Harris coming off the foot surgery is going to be way better. Like if you believe that he's a good running back, he's going to regress upwards because he had a really bad season last year. They got Deontay Johnson, they got George Pickens on the outside, they got a good tight end in front. I like Kenny Pickett. I like him taking a leap this year.
Kenny Pickett's a dog.
He is a dog. The fake slide gave me respect. The fact that he fake slid in college and like they had to ban it was just respect forever. But yeah, I'm riding with the Steelers. The 49ers could win by 40 here. It's a rat line, but I'm going to roll with the Steelers here.
If there was ever a Vegas, pull the cover over your eyes and just fuck everybody in the nation, it's this game right here. 78% of the money is coming in on San Fran -2.5 right now.
I feel a little better.
And guess what? I'm riding San Fran. I am the people. I am the nation. I am the person that's going to have the wool pulled over their face and go bankrupt on 49ers this week. Give me the -2.5. I'll tell you what. I love Kenny Pickett. I really do. George Pickens is that guy, too. He's a bad, bad man. But I'm telling you what. Christian McCaffrey, I'm sorry, but he's an X factor. And I am going to say there will be, maybe not in this game, but there will be a Brock Purdy sophomore slump. You're going to see a drop off. What was he known for last season? It wasn't the stats. It wasn't anything more than protecting the ball. That's what they needed there in San Francisco, is a guy that can manage the game and not give it away, right? That's what he did. I'm not so sure I 100% believe that he's going to do it a second year in a row, at least long term. But in this game, earlier in the season, I think the Steelers, I haven't seen their defense yet. I don't know if I love their defense. And for that reason, I'm taking the San Fran 49ers -2.5 in this game. Don't love it. I like it.
Okay.
All right.
That.
Moving on to the next Sunday game. This is a shitstorm of a game. This is a close your eyes special, in my opinion. But we have the Carolina Panthers on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons -3.5, -176 on the money line. 39.5 is a total. Mike, there's been some serious line movement on the total as well.
Yeah.
Opened up at 43.5, and like I said, 39.5 now.
Yeah, so that's obviously a big move for total, especially week one. Like you said, this is the close your eyes special. Both these teams, we don't really know what to expect. Both got obviously young quarterbacks trying to prove themselves. I'm going to go with the Falcons here. I like kind of the direction they're heading a little bit more than I like Carolina's team currently. Obviously, Bijan, he could be the second coming of Christ. He could be a bust. We don't know. He's been tearing up preseason, so I'm confident that he's going to get probably in the end zone. So I like any touchdown scoring for Bijan. I'm sure you get some good value there. Bryce Young, week one, rookie quarterback. I don't know if I feel comfortable taking him, on the road week one. So for that reason, I'm going to roll with the Falcons here. I don't love it. I don't like it. I'm forced to make this pick because we bet every game on the DGen podcast here, like true DGen. So I'm going to go Falcons -3.5.
All right. So I don't know if you or any of the listeners remember, but back when we were doing our fantasy podcast, we had picked a defense, a sleeper defense.
We did.
Yours truly picked the Carolina Panthers,
You did?
Mikey Rom. And I'll stand behind that. I think they're going to be fantastic this season. But with that being said, Bryce Young kind of set up a failure, at least in the beginning of the season here. Adam Thielen, his number one receiver, an aging Adam Thielen. I don't think exactly that's going to be the recipe for success in week one, especially against the Atlanta Falcons team that doesn't exactly have the best quarterback either in Desmond Ridder, but has some weapons around him that I believe will basically take them to the promised land in this game. I'm not necessarily sure I'm taking the -3.5 here, but I will take the money line. I know it's a cop-out at -176.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to take the pick when you can get the pick, and that's my pick. I do like the value in the over. I think that this is a game where it's a sneaky total because the total was at 43.5. I think there's a ton of value now on that 39.5. So I am taking the over in that game as well.
Okay.
Moving on. Houston Texans on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. +10 for the Houston Texans. That's like a college football spread right there, week one in the NFL world. But -550, the Baltimore Ravens are on the money line. 43.5 is a total. And I want to start off and just say, CJ Stroud, okay? I'm not saying he's that guy, all right?
He's not.
He's 100% not that guy, but, and I know it's just preseason, he did impress me at some level of degree during the preseason, where I'm not saying that he's going to be an offensive rookie of the year or anything like that, but I think that he does well enough where offensively they have structure. I'll go that far. Okay. You know what I mean? So where are you at with this game?
Yeah, I actually agree with you, Sadie. I think he's the type of guy who's going to be a starter in the league, but will need weapons around him to succeed. And the Texans do not have those weapons right now. I know Damian Pierce is a nice piece. I think he's going to have actually a pretty good year. But on the outside, doesn't really impress me. Nico Collins, can he stay healthy? That's potentially a good weapon, but I'm not really sold on the rest of the team. Yeah, I'm going to roll with the over here because I don't like 10 is too many points for a week 1 NFL game. Like you said, this is kind of a college football type thing. Something is weird with this game. The Ravens might cover 43 points themselves, but I just don't like this at all. This is a stinker to me, but I'm going to go with the over.
See, I think there is a lot of value in the plus 10. And I'm gonna explain to you why. Not just because of CJ Stroud, I think is a formidable quarterback here in this game, week 1, but it's for what the Ravens, in my opinion, lack, right? I think that, like we had said in an earlier podcast, Lamar Jackson, their goal is to have him drop back more, to throw more, to run less, right? J.K. Dobbins coming off an injury. We don't know how good he's going to be. The wide receiver core, yes, it's been improved. Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham. But even still, these are new guys in the system, new guys that he's throwing to, unfamiliar territory. I don't exactly love that large of a spread week 1 for the Baltimore Ravens, even if it is against the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, shout out Dameon Pierce. I'm telling you what, that guy is a dog.
He is a dog.
He can move the chains. And sometimes that's all you need is to take clock away, give the team that, in this case, the Baltimore Ravens, less opportunity, less time on the field, and I think that's what they do. I think they kind of milk the clock this game. I think they really protect their quarterback, their rookie quarterback, and take the air out of the ball. So for that reason, I think that plus 10, I think it's a backdoor cover.
You know what? I'm on it.
Backdoor cover.
Write it down. Plus 10, I'm on it.
Plus 10. Backdoor cover.
All right, listen.
Backdoor cover.
I kind of like the field goals over in this game, too. I feel like there's going to be field goals.
Hashtag Justin Tucker. Way
I feel
over.
like there's going to be a lot of field goals in this game. I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Moving on, your Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow on the road against the Cleveland Browns. They are road favorites, minus 2.5, getting 80% of the money. Mikey Rahm, I'm not sure how you feel about that, but minus 134 on the money line. The total is sitting at 47.5. Man, does this feel like another trap game to you, or is it just me?
No, because I'm like fucking balls deep in the Bengals because my team this year. This is my lock of the week. I know we're gonna get there, but this is my lock. Joe Burrow, 1-4 against the Browns lifetime. Did you know that?
That's pretty remarkable.
It's pretty bad. He has a better record against the Chiefs than the Browns. So for that reason alone, that dude's gonna come out with fire in his ass. He'll be ready week 1. His team is amazing around him. I just really feel like the Browns are going to get blown the fuck out here. Yes, they're going to be I think the Browns will be much improved this year. So with Watson coming in for his first full season, they still have Chubb. They have decent weapons on the outside. But I love the Bengals here. I know it's like a rat line, but I don't care. I'm blindly picking them, and it will probably bite me in the ass, but I'm rolling with the Bengals here big time.
I actually like Brown.
Big bet.
I think I actually like Brown's money line here.
Okay.
At plus 114. Incredible value, I think, for a team that really, in my opinion, for at least the short term, has always just been a quarterback shy of really having a competitive team in that division and really making a run deep into the playoffs with a good quarterback. I think that Deshaun Watson, a lot of time on the couch, a lot of time to knock some rust off. But with that being said, also Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, and other people around him are really going to cover up maybe some of the rust that's on him. That defense isn't great, but their front four, their pass rush, I think they get to Joe Burrow, and I think they get to him early. This is going to be a headache game for the Bengals. This is going to be like a halftime, like what adjustments do we have to make because nothing is going our way. That's where I'm at. I think that the plus 2.5 for me is a no-brainer. I'm all over the 2.5. Not saying I'm locking it up, Mikey Rahm, but man, I'll tell you what, I like the way that looks. It looks appetizing.
Well, at least one of us will be right. So
at least one of us will be right. 50-50 is better than 0. Moving on, Tampa Bay Bucks. Baker Mayfield led Tampa Bay Bucks on the road against the Kirk Cousins-led Vikings. Buccaneers +6, +220 in the money line. The total is 45.5. Mikey, do you think that our boy Baker Mayfield has a little bit of magic? Do you think that he can step in and fill Tom Brady's shoes and just take the boys to victory here?
What time's the game at?
It's a 1 o'clock kickoff.
All right, Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 1 o'clock.
Always,
no matter what.
That was my only argument.
but to answer your question, no. I don't think Baker Mayfield is going to fill Tom Brady's shoes. I think, Listen, I like Baker Mayfield. I know a lot of people don't like Baker Mayfield, but the dude is just not an NFL quarterback. You know, he's a very good college quarterback. You know, he's got that fire in his stomach. He's a competitor, but as far as like the intangibles and as well as like the raw talent that he has, it's just not at the level where he can be an elite NFL quarterback and can't really even be like a middle of the pack NFL quarterback at this point. So for that reason, you know, he's got an aging wide receiver core. Mike Evans, obviously probably a Hall of Famer, but he's getting up there in age. Chris Godwin, injury problems. They don't really have a great running back. So I don't think they're going to be able to score a lot, and they're going to have to rely on that defense. And I don't think that defense is going to be able to hold up against the Vikings in week 1. So for those reasons, I'm going to roll with the Vikings -6. But like for the biggest reason is the game's at 1 o'clock. So -6.
See, I love your reason, but I have to pivot here. I'm pivoting, and I'm going with Jordan Addison being the X factor. Highlights and touchdowns, baby.
Okay.
Highlights and touchdowns. Jordan Addison, I believe, is the X factor in this game. Everybody's talking about Justin Jefferson, right? He's the first pick in a lot of fantasy drafts, right? The big news, you know, Alexander Madison's the new RB1 there, which, mind you, I don't think he's going to do very much of anything. But nobody's talking enough about Jordan Addison. I think he's NFL Rookie of the Year, hot take, by the way.
I like that.
I think he's going to get an incredible amount of targets. Just think, Adam Thielen's no longer gone. He is the number 2 wide receiver in that offense. Think of how many targets Adam Thielen used to get. He's going to absorb probably at least 75% of those targets, right? So for that reason, I actually love the Minnesota Vikings. I think he's going to cause problems for them. And if you have Jordan Addison in your fantasy team,
I do.
Congratulations. You got a winner, in my opinion. I was headhunting for him. Couldn't get him. But nevertheless, Vikings -6. Almost willing to lock this one in, Mikey Rom.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins 1 o'clock. Really pushes it over the fucking edge for me. You guys me fired the fuck up. Moving on, Arizona Cardinals in another shit game on the road against the Washington Commanders. Changed it back to the Redskins already. You know, there was a petition going around for people to change it back to the Redskins. Did you see that?
I did not. I'm sure it has a lot of signatures, though.
It has a lot of signatures, and if the NFL knew what was up, they changed it back to the fucking Redskins. But until then, it's the Washington Commanders in their favorites at -7, -355 in the money line. The total is at 38.5. It opened up at 41.5, Mikey. So people are taking the under heavy on this game. Dobbs, he's quarterback week 1 for the Arizona Cardinals, and
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs. Did you see him play at all last year? Did you see him play for the Tennessee Titans? Because I'm pretty damn sure that guy wore a fucking crown. He was just king, fucking queen, salami. I don't know what the fuck you want to call him, but he was fucking big dick and a lot of different people around there. A la Big Dick Nick Foles and a lot of people out there. And I'll tell you what, against a shitty Washington Commanders team, I don't hate him in this spot.
Okay, so you're taking the +7.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I don't hate him in this spot. I want to know where you're at first.
Okay. He's not a good quarterback, Josh. You know, okay, we got a little
I
situation.
never said Josh Dobbs is a good quarterback, but I'm saying that he can get it done against
I
a
think-
shitty Washington Commanders team.
I think, well, first of all, I disagree with your premise that they're a shitty Washington Commanders team. I think that they're going to compete for the division this year, honestly. The NFC, you never know with that division. A different team wins every year. I think they'll be in the running, but I think this is a great spot for the Commanders. Like, I think it's the new owner game.
But you want to take Sam Howell in his first career game as a rookie?
Kinda. They're at home. Okay. Sold the team game. First game with the new owner, so they're going to get that bump. It's at home. They're going to get that bump. And the Cardinals are terrible. Like, they are so bad. You know, they got issues across the board on offense, on defense, at quarterback especially. They're an absolute dumpster fire. So I love the Commanders spot here. 7 is a lot of points.
Seven is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points to cover. I'm going to shop around and try to get this at 6.5. I don't think I'm going to be able to.
This line opened up at 5.5. You do know that, right? So it's up to 7. When you see line movement go one way, you always go the opposite way.
True.
Even as a DGen, it's like, okay, the money's going somewhere, and Vegas doesn't lose, at least lose often. And for that, I am taking the Cardinals at +7, especially if it goes up into the half point, which I do expect it to between now and kickoff. 7.5, give me the hook all day, motherfucker. Give me the fucking hook all day.
Okay. We'll see.
Tennessee Titans on the road against the New Orleans Saints. This game is an interesting one, to say the least, in my opinion. I actually don't hate this game. Tennessee +3 on the road, +146 in the money line, 41.5 as a total. Mikey. Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Did you throw away the division first and foremost? And secondly, who do you have?
So first of all, I think Derek Carr is going to have a good year. He's in the dome. He's got good weapons around him. Chris Olave, I think, is going to have a really good year. I actually got snaked out of him in my fantasy draft. I'm actually still pissed about that like 3 days later. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Saints here, and I'm honestly locking this one up as well.
Sheesh.
Tennessee, we're on the road. Derrick Henry's still good, not good. I know last podcast I said he's over the hill. I still believe that. I really like the Saints here. I don't know why. I have a feeling in my heart, in my chest, that they're going to win by like 40 points in this game, and then Tennessee is going to go on like a 5-game win streak. That's like the feeling I have about this game. I really feel like the Saints are going to absolutely curb stomp them, but the Titans will be okay. So for that reason, I'm taking it -3. I also love the over in this game as well. I think 41.5 is very low for this game in the Superdome on the turf, week 1.
So I'm just going to paint a picture for you, okay?
Just paint it.
Mike Vrabel's on the sideline, all right? Packing a fat lip, all right? Week 1, jets are flying overhead from the dome, so you can't see them. But they're flying.
Erase that part.
Yeah, they're flying overhead
White out.
over the dome, right? You can see it on national television, but not from the stadium.
Okay.
All right. Do you think that he's going to let that kind of big dick energy, that Zen 10 energy, be just shat all over by Derek fucking Carr?
Okay.
The guy that just absolutely erased all the Oakland Raiders' hopes, or the Las Vegas Raiders' hopes of making the playoffs last year, single-handedly, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but Derrick Henry, as much as the wheels have fallen off, this game you're getting up and you're getting big, and you're going to do some serious shit here. A lot of goal line touchies for my boy Derrick Henry here. The Tennessee Titans +3. This might be a lock.
Okay,
Mikey.
all
This
right.
might be a lock at the end of the show.
We got a lock off. I
This
like that.
might be a lock at
Week
the end
1
of the show.
lock-off. Okay. I want to asterisk this game if there's
are you backpedaling?
if there's a shot from the TV of Mike Vrabel doing like more than 15 push-ups on the sideline, I'm switching.
Yeah, I mean,
switching
Mike
my pick.
Vrabel is going to be absolute tunnel vision, laser focus. Dude, he's going to have his team running through a wall. D-Hop making his debut. Not saying he's going to like really do anything because Ryan Tannehill fucking sucks. But I think they're going to move the chains. They're going to get shit done. And +3, they're covering.
Okay, we'll see.
My favorite game of the week, my Jacksonville Jaguars.
I knew you'd be all over this.
Oh, buddy. Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the decrepit Indianapolis Colts. Only -4.5 on the road. Opened up at 3.5. 45.5 is a total. Mikey, I mean, I feel like this should be the one game that's like them -10. Like, I feel like this is like the one game that should be that, and it's not. So it almost makes me scared, but then I think to myself that those golden locks of fucking love are just going to just penetrate the Indianapolis Colts. So where am I at with this? Because I can't figure it out.
I think we're in alignment here. I mean, Jags are the pick. I would try to get the bet in as quick as you can because I think this is going to keep moving. That way, this will probably close 5.5, maybe even 6 if people are getting crazy. But like you said, like I'm sure everybody's going to be on the Jags. Everyone and their mother and their sister. Why are the Colts getting any respect here? Like, why isn't this, like you said, -10, -12 or whatever? Maybe because they're at home. I don't know. Maybe there's something that we don't know. But, yeah, the Jags just have too much firepower for the Colts. It's just like a plethora of, like, riches. Like, they got ETN. They got Calvin Ridley coming back, which I think is going to be an elite.
Do you think that's a boom or bust situation right now for him? Even with Chris, because he has Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, has to fight even some catches with Travis Etienne.
Calvin Ridley's going to get 50% of the ball thrown his way. He is nasty. He could be like a top 5 wide receiver, like in the league, like for years to come.
I actually read that as of now, Christian Kirk has kind of been the odd man out. They're basically playing him only in the slot as the number 3 receiver, and Zay Jones is actually getting the number 2 spot on the other outside of the field. I think it's just because he's a bigger body, but either way, the team just has too much firepower here. Indianapolis Colts, I don't know how you're even getting 4 points right now. 4.5 points. It should be at least a touchdown, in my opinion. So I'm jumping all over the Jacksonville Jaguars here at -4.5. Moving on to our first 4 o'clock game, Mikey Rom. Los Angeles Rams, Cooper Kupp getting seen by a specialist now for the tightness in his hamstring. They're on the road against the 12th man in the Seattle Seahawks, -5.5. The Seattle Seahawks totals at 45.5. Mikey, where are you at?
This game was hard for me. I feel like this is one of the game, like the hardest games of the week. I think the line is probably aptly placed. I think this is definitely a situation where the Seahawks win the game, but I'm going to roll with the Rams and the points here. I think this will be a close game. These are two kind of teams where, they should be good. Maybe they're a little bit overhyped, but I don't think that their rosters are particularly strong at this point. The Rams are definitely descending with some of their talent. Obviously, they're getting a little bit older. Who knows what Matt Stafford's going to look like? He could be the Matt Stafford of old, or he could be a shell of himself. We'll see. And on the Seahawks side, obviously they have Geno Smith. He had a fairy tale year last year. Can he repeat it? I mean, there's a reason why he was where he was before he had this great comeback. So this is like the we'll see game of the week, because we're gonna have to just see it, and then we'll be able to make future picks based off how they perform. So I'm gonna be safe here. I'm gonna take the points, but this is gonna be a really close game, and I think the Seahawks will probably end up edging them out.
So 74% of the money are on the Seahawks right now.
Okay.
With that being said, I did like the Rams at +5.5 with Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. Without Cooper Kupp, one, I think the line's going to move if he's actually out come game time. And secondly, I just don't like them without him because who are they going to throw to? I mean, they really don't have – Van Jefferson now steps in as the number 1 receiver. Cam Akers isn't exactly the best running back in the world either. So who does Matt Stafford go to? An aging Matt Stafford who, again, was out a good chunk of last season with an injury. Just like Deshaun Watson, but for different reasons, has a lot of rust to knock off. I don't see the Rams getting up for this game without Cooper Kupp. He is the guy that's going to lead them to make this game competitive. And I use that word very stressed, competitive, because that's all this game is going to be. They don't have a shot. Give me the Seattle Seahawks at -5.5. I don't care how much of the public's on it, because I'm on it too.
Okay.
Moving on to our hometown team, the New England Patriots hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The line right now is at -3.5. Eagles on the road, 45 is the total. Every part of me doesn't want to be a Debbie Downer right now and just shit all over the Patriots. So for that reason, I'm going to let you go first, and do you do it?
I'm not going to.
Oh.
I'm not going to shit all over the Patriots.
Well, in that case.
I'm taking the Pats and the points, and I'm going Pats money line as well.
Whoa.
This is my had a dream 3 weeks ago game of the week about the Patriots. Listen, there's only 2 ways that this game will go. It's either the Pats will win a very close game, maybe a la like 27-24. Somehow Mac Jones score points. This offense somehow gets on the board. Or it's like a 41-7 Eagles kind of situation where it's over by the second quarter and there's backups in the fourth quarter. I'm choosing to be positive here. Hometown team, hometown bet. I'm going to let myself be a homer for this one game this week. I'm rolling with the Pats. Please, God, don't make me look dumb, but probably will look dumb at the end of this.
So, obviously, the safe pick is the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't care how safe it is. I'm taking them at -3.5, especially on a teaser. I mean, it's a no-brainer on a teaser, but particularly -3.5. I don't care. I don't even need the hook at 3 or 2.5 to feel comfortable about this. What's funny is I can almost predict how this game is going to go, at least in the first half and going into the second half. The first half, it's going to be extremely competitive, right? The Patriots are going to have a good game plan. They're going to come out solid. They're going to play good defense and really push the Eagles' offense to kind of figure it out. I think that they made a lot of good additions. I think that Gonzalez, particularly in the secondary, Keon White in the line, I think they're going to play a good pass rush, and I think that the secondary is going to hold, I wouldn't say firm, but good enough against a really loaded wide receiver core with the Eagles. With that being said, good teams make adjustments. In my opinion, the Eagles are a great team. I think they're going to come out in the second half, and people are going to be high on the Patriots. People are going to be live betting the Patriots. oh, dog this, dog that, dog this, dog that. And then the Eagles are going to just punch the Patriots in the fucking mouth in the second half and blow the game wide open, blow the fucking spread, and also blow this total out of the water. It opened up at 46.5. It's for some reason came down to 45. Like you said earlier, you thought that the Ravens could score like 43 points in their own. I think the fucking Eagles could score 45, maybe 50 in their own in this game. So with that being said, I'm all over the fucking Eagles, dude. Fly, Eagles, fly. Shout out Jason Kelce. You're a fucking god, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could be completely right. I'm willing to admit that, but I'm just hoping you're wrong.
Well, while you hope, we're going to move on to the Las Vegas Raiders, visiting your boy Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, on the road. +4 on the road are the Las Vegas Raiders. 44 is a total, Mike. They're getting +172 on the money line as well. 50% of the bets kind of split down the middle right now here on the total and the game itself. So with that being said, kind of a tough play, kind of a tough pick. Is this a tough one for you, or is it a no-brainer?
Yeah, this is a don't watch this game of the week. It's a tough pick because I just like don't know with these teams. Like Russell Wilson, will he be good? Maybe, maybe not. The Raiders, who the fuck knows? You know, it's just such a Jimmy G. Is he gonna turn them around? Probably not. Well, yeah, we'll see. This is just like I don't even want to watch this game. Like, but I have to make a pick, so I'm going to be like super, super Debbie Downer and just take the under because I feel like this is going to be like 17-7 and like there's going to be like a blocked extra point or like something weird that's going to happen that's going to decide the game. So I'm going to go with the under here. Listen, these two teams have talent on them. And I think that if they can figure it out, I know it's like such like a broad statement and like no fucking duh, but if they could just figure it out, they could both potentially be playoff teams. But until I see that from them, I'm not like putting a lot of stock in these teams. So I'm just going to take the under. That's just the pick for me.
So not only am I disagreeing with you in particular aspects of the personnel, but I'm disagreeing with you on the total. I actually love the total of 44 over.
Okay.
I think that for as bad as Russell Wilson was last season, I think that with a healthy Javonte Williams now in the backfield, Greg Dulcich, tight end, really came alive at the end of the season. I think that he shows up this game. Mims, they used their first draft pick of the draft to go get him. They actually moved up in the draft to get him, and I think that he's a really good talent. Cortland Sutton as well. That's just the Denver offensive firepower. I think that the Raiders really is, and it almost pains me to say this, that Jimmy G really is such an upgrade, in my opinion, for Derek Carr in that offense, but he really is. I think that you're going to see Devontae Adams thrive a lot more than he did with Derek Carr and company, but Josh Jacobs as well. I mean, you saw the season he had last season. Can he repeat that? Who knows? But who's the new coach here for the Denver Broncos? Sean Payton.
Yeah.
So with that being said, have you heard how basically Sean Payton just like shitting all over everybody, taking names, a lot of big dick energy coming out of Denver, Mile High Stadium, and particularly just recently shitting on his own quarterback. Guy just has a death wish for everyone. I think that kind of backfires on him. I think that he has some egg on his face in this game, and I'm taking the Raiders +4. I'm pretty actually confident about this.
I like that
here. So I actually love this game. Moving on. Green Bay, Chicago Bears. Green Bay is on the road, +1.5. The total is 43.5. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. They pick up DJ Moore. Khalil Herbert's kind of the lead guy now in the backfield. No more David Montgomery. Jordan Love making his debut.
Yes.
A lot of firsts here in this game, Mikey. A lot of uncertainty in this game. I know where I'm going with this. I kind of actually am very excited to watch this game. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
This is going to be a fun game.
It's going to be a fun fucking game to watch here. But we're here to pick here on the game. We're not here just to have fun. We're here to pick and make money. So where are you going?
Well, I'm going to make the fun pick over 43. I mean, this is a
no-brainer,
This is going to be just like, I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to watch this game. Like, I just like was shitting all over on the last game. Both these are in the 425 slot. I know what game I'm watching. Like, it's going to be this one. I'm excited for Justin Fields this year. I'm excited for Jordan Love this year. I'm excited to see what they can do with these teams because these teams are now committed to them, right? The Packers obviously drafted him in the first round behind Aaron Rodgers when he still had gas in the tank. They like him. They like the team around him. The Bears committed to Justin Fields at this point. You know, here are the keys. You know, last year, like, just run around and have fun. This year, we need you to actually, like, win us some games. So I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for both these teams this year, and I think this is going to be like a shootout kind of situation. So I'm rolling with the over here, and I feel like it's a no-brainer pick.
Yeah, I think that Justin Fields is going to run wild here in this game. And honestly, the longer that the Jordan Love era is starting to progress, the more I'm beginning to just be a Jordan Love fanboy, in my opinion.
I love him.
Shout out Utah State, by the way. But Jordan Love, I just like what I've seen. I mean, he's been an efficient passer in the preseason. I know you really don't want to hang your hat on preseason plays and all that good shit, but he's got some pretty good youthful wide receivers around him that he can throw to. Christian Watson first
Burner.
and foremost, right? Romeo Dubs, whatever. Romeo. I think that he's a formidable quarterback, at least here for the start of the season. I think that, not saying he's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre for that matter, but I think he's going to be really good.
I agree.
I think he's going to be really good. I do. I think that he really has a new sort of self-confidence within him. He's given the keys to the Ferrari. It's like, okay, let's go.
Well, you got to think like he's also been like on like the racetrack, like driving behind Aaron Rodgers for like 3 years now, like learning the turns, learning when to hit the brakes, learning when to put on the gas. I
love this analogy.
When the rain's coming down, you need the special kind of tires. You got the, I'm F1 Mikey Rom F1.
Are you Rain X wipers only, or what are you?
Bro, I'm whatever wipers are on my car. But yeah, not to like harp on it or like, just keep rambling on. But yeah, I think has a real chance here to actually like kind of assert himself as like a top end quarterback in this league this year. So we'll see. He could be bad. We'll see.
So now we're going to move on. Miami Dolphins, right? They're on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be an absolute shootout, in my opinion, as long as Tua doesn't get another concussion. Knock on wood. I probably shouldn't have said that. But +3 right now, the Miami Dolphins on the road. 50.5 is the total. Does Justin Herbert, I don't know, does he have enough weapons around him outside of the Austin Ecklers and all that to really make a push this season? I mean, we have Keenan Allen, we have Mike Williams. They're aging. They're not exactly always healthy. They're always battling injuries. I know they're going to be healthy for week 1, but like, do we really love them in this spot?
I like them in this spot. I'm rolling to Chargers here. But it's more because I'm down on the Dolphins and Tua than I am up on the Chargers. I think the Chargers probably won't make the playoffs this year for all the reasons you just said, right? Obviously, Justin Herbert is an elite talent, has proven that he can make the throws and can change a game, but it's the people around him that make me a little worried. Like you said, Keenan Allen will be injured this year. We can just write that down. At some point he will be injured. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, when you draft him in fantasy, you just know he's going to be out for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, easily.
Mike Williams, again, another injury guy. He's had some like scary injuries, like back injuries, like neck injuries. Like, he's again an elite talent, but can he stay on the field? Like you said, it's week 1, so they're the most healthy they're going to be in this game. So I like them to at least survive this game. And I am down on I'm down on Tua. Like, I wish him the best. I obviously would never want someone to get hurt, but I just don't think he has the frame to withstand the NFL at this point. Obviously, he's had multiple concussions. He's only been in the league a couple of years. Like, it's a very scary situation for him. So I feel like they're going to kind of baby him, like coming out week 1, make sure like he can make the short throws, maybe hand the ball a little bit more. I really like the Chargers in this spot, but I'm down on them for the year. So,
excuse me for not knowing the gentleman's name, but he was an old cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a color commentator now for the NFL. He was a cornerback.
Ryan Clark?
Yes, Ryan Clark. All right. He actually came out, was talking shit about Tua, and basically Tua in the interview said, like, keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
I like that.
He basically came out and said, keep my name out. It's like Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And then he slapped Chris Rock. That's what he's going to do. He's going to slap the fucking Chargers.
Okay.
All right. I'm telling you this right now. If there's one thing, though, that I was very disappointed with the Miami Dolphins about, I'm not exactly saying I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, but you like to see good teams do well. They didn't get a running back. They didn't get a real running back, in my opinion. The opportunity was there with Dalvin Cook and others, and they didn't pull the trigger, sadly. I don't think that really holds them back in this game, but they would have been a totally different animal. I know we can talk about the woulda, coulda, shouldas all day long here, but even without a formidable running back, in my opinion, or a serviceable number one, I do like them in the spot, catching 3 points. I really hope come game time the line moves for that 3.5. Then it's like your eyes light up, you're all over it. But at plus 138, I think this game should be closer to like a pick'em, in my opinion. So at plus 138, I think there's a lot of value to be had right there. So I'm hopping all over the Dolphins. I also love the total here, as much as that's kind of super, sharp. Is at the 50.5, taking the over. Moving on, the G-Men. The G-Men hosting your favorite team, America's team, Dallas Cowboys. Right? Big Dak Prescott guy over here. The G-Men, the New York Giants, are 3.5 home dogs. 46.5 is the total. Mikey, the bets right now are pretty much 50-50. I fucking hate Dak Prescott, first and foremost. Love Tony Pollard. I think he absolutely eats this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love the total. I don't know if I love the spread. I don't know if I like anything about this game, except for I am excited to see Darren Waller in a Giants uniform. I think that he's going to be, as long as he can stay healthy, a big boost for that offense. So with that, I'm leaning plus 3.5 to the Giants, but I want you to convince me.
Yeah, so I'll do that now. So I'm on the Giants here. The Giants' season and their future rests on Danny Dimes. If Danny Dimes turns into Danny Nichols or Danny Pennies, it's going to be a bad time.
Shout out the worst contract in the NFL, by the way.
It's not great, or
it's not great,
or it could be the biggest steal of the century. Because if Danny Dimes turns into Danny Half Dollars, Danny Dollars, now we're talking. I think, as cliche as it is to say, their season so lies on how their quarterback plays. Obviously, they get Saquon back on a 1-year deal. Great for this year. Like, they get Darren Waller in the door. Great. The wide receivers still stink. Can they get healthy? We'll see. If Danny Dimes is throwing dimes, I think that this is Giants money line. I'm going to take the points here. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott. You know what you're going to get. CeeDee Lamb, elite wide receiver. Their defense, I think, overrated, but that's another story. You know what you're going to get from the Cowboys. It's the Giants that are the unknown, and I'm gonna choose to roll with Danny Half Dollars here.
So I really want to know what the over/under total interception prop is right now for Dak Prescott after he openly came out and said he's not going to throw any more than 10 interceptions this season.
It's going to have to be over that.
So I mean, right away I'm leaning at 2 picks in this game for Dak. CD is CD. Obviously, he's a good wide receiver. They have Cooks now out there with him. I think that's a huge pickup for them, Brandon Cooks. I do like that signing.
They lose their tight end, though.
They do lose a tight end, but Ferguson was relatively decent in the time that Dalton Schultz was out last season, so I'm not too worried about the tight end position skipping a beat, along with the fact that they got rid of Zeke. Now, we inherit him here in New England, unfortunately, in my opinion, but Tony Pollard, I think that just opens up the floodgates for his volume to grow. Obviously, everything I'm saying leads to me wanting to point Dallas, but with Dak at quarterback, it's just too much. It's like an ex-girlfriend you want to keep on going back to, but no matter what, it's never going to work.
Yeah,
I'm never going back to Dak ever again, ever. Especially after he came out and said he's gonna. It's like a voodoo doll. It's a voodoo doll.
He threw like 5 picks in the preseason. After he said that, it's like, dude, this is the preseason.
There was a pick in practice where he threw the ball and the cornerback completely jumped the route and it was a pick 6. And he looks bad. I think he's beyond his time. I think this is the year we really see the wheels fall off, and it starts here in game 1 against the New York Giants. Give me the New York Giants plus 3.5. Wrapping up week 1, some Monday Night Football.
Oh, good game.
Great game.
Good game for week 1 Sunday Night Football.
Great game for Monday Night Football. Shout out Roger Goodell for finally getting something right. The Buffalo Bills on the road against the New York Jets. This place is going to be fucking loud.
Rocking.
It's going to be rocking. I'm going to be rocking in my house. I'm going to be rocking. This is going to be a hell of a fucking game to watch. The Jets are plus 2.5 home dogs right now. 46.5 is the total. I mean, I'm going to be running through my television screen. I'm going to be so fired up watching this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad because, like, the Patriots are in this division, right? And, like, we'd want to be running through the television for the Patriots, but that's just not the case here. We're running through the television for the other teams in the division, which is neither here nor there. But for this game, I'm gonna roll with the Jets here. I'm gonna roll with the points at home. I'm gonna roll. I love the money line here. Actually, I don't think that whoever. It's either the Bills are gonna really beat them down and like show the Jets like, hey, we're still the Bills, or the Jets are gonna like pull one out of their ass. So, Aaron Rodgers, first game, like you said, the season's gonna be rocking. Garrett Wilson, you know how high I am on him, like elite wide receiver. They got Dalvin coming in, Bryce Hall coming off the injury. Like, they are in win now mode. No question about it. And they need to come out and make a stand here and show the NFL, hey, we're here. We don't care if it's the Bills. We don't care if it's in the division. We need to make a statement. And I think that they do it this week. So I'm going to roll with the Jets.
So, I love everything you're saying, right? It sounds so easy just to take the Jets right now. It sounds so easy. It's like when you get the menu at a really good restaurant and the first appetizer that jumps off the board, you're like, that sounds bomb. I'm going to order that. And you forget to read the rest of the menu, and there's a bunch of different appetizers on there.
Yeah, like you see the table next to you, like some bomb shit.
Like the sizzling fajitas come out, and you're like, why didn't I fucking order the sizzling fajitas?
Yeah, why do we got chicken fingers and fries?
Why are the Bills being overlooked in this game? Everyone, I feel like, is overlooking the Bills, in my opinion. With that being said, majority of the bets are coming in on the Bills, but everyone's talking about the fucking Jets. And I get that. It's a new Camaro in the driveway, right?
Hard knocks bump.
It's the hard knocks bump, all that, right? But in reality, Aaron Rodgers is an aging quarterback, right?
True.
He jumps from one team to the next in terms of talent. I don't think there's a crazy jump. The wide receiver one, right? Garrett Wilson, comparable to Christian Watson. Yeah, there is a bump there. But outside of that, the running back situation, I actually think, is not as good. He had Aaron Jones. He had Dylan in Green Bay. I think
that's a good point.
Those are pretty good options, right?
That's a fair point.
The number 2 receiver, I think, is pretty comparable. Romeo I'm never gonna pronounce the name right. Romeo. I just think that there's a lot of comparisons that check out to be kind of similar. And against a Buffalo Bills defense that is pretty damn fucking good week 1. I'm sorry, but I got to take the Bills here. And I know that's super, super sharp and kind of cheesy to take them at -2.5 and roll with the public. 77% of the money get on the public is on the Bills. But, I mean, I got to fucking roll with them.
Yeah, but listen, this is going to be a great game. Either one of us could be very right here. So I'm excited.
So I actually I'm going to pull it up right now. All right. It's on FanDuel. It's a nice little parlay. And it's a to win by points parlay.
Okay.
This was made quite a long time ago.
Okay.
Mike. So not all of these are accurate to Win a Wagyu.
This is like a 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's like a 2 a.m.
Okay.
Like just drink some Jim Beam and diet, and I probably should go to bed parlay.
Okay, I like that.
All right. It was Kansas City Chiefs to win by 1 to 13 points. Atlanta Falcons 1 to 13 points. Vikings 1 to 13. Cardinals 1 to 13. Shout out Arizona Cardinals. Titans 1 to 13. Jags money line. Seahawks 1 to 13. Eagles 1 to 13. Chicago Bears money line. $50 to win $110,000.
Yeah, I think you're really gonna hate the Cardinals after this week.
Yeah, I think
you're really gonna be upset with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm gonna be quite honest.
So that's coming down the pipeline. Okay. So we're gonna, before we wrap up, obviously get into our Lock Dog Tease segment here at the podcast. We're gonna give you guys our lock, our dog, our tease, and a bonus lock to send you off on your first NFL Sunday to cash and cash big. Mikey, I'll let you lead the way here. What do you got for your first lock?
I mean, my lock is the Bengals. I kind of already touched on it. You know, Joe Breezy fucking going in, gonna have a great, gonna finally get over the Browns kind of monkey off his back. You know, I know that he's the type of guy that definitely bothers him that he has not had success against them. So I think he comes out. I think he throws a bunch of touchdowns. I think Jamar Chase anytime score. It's probably not very long money. It's probably like plus 100, but I like it. Yeah, that's my lock. I feel like that's a game I don't like have to worry about at all.
My first lock, I think we'll go with the other no-brainer here in the room, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars -4.5. I think against the Indianapolis Colts, it's almost a sign of disrespect, in my opinion, to the Jacksonville Jaguars, only catching 4.5 points. So for that reason, we're locking up the Jacksonville Jaguars as my first lock, and your dog is dog.
My dog is going to be the Jets money line.
Jets money line.
Jets money line.
You're not even taking the spread. You're going straight money line.
No, straight money line. I feel very strongly that they're going to win this game. I do.
Well, because my passion for Lamar Jackson burns so deep
You love him.
with pure hate, I have to go the Houston Texans +10. That's too big of a spread, I think, in week 1. Call me crazy. I know people are probably going to be like, why are you taking the Houston Texans? Your dog, Wagyu. But realistically, that's where I'm at. This is kind of a emotional pick, if you will. Emotional damage is an emotional pick here for me. So give me the Texans +10 as my dog. Hit me with the teaser, Mikey Rum.
Okay, so teaser. Just preface, I'm not Mikey Rom's not a teaser guy.
Mikey teasers?
There's Mikey Soccer Ball, there's Mikey F1, it's not Mikey teases. So I struggle with this one. And to be quite honest with you, I found this one online and I like the logo of that website, so I'll roll with it. I got Vikings, Vikings -0.5 point. Commanders pick 'em is my at -120 is my teaser.
Oh, wow, a little 2-team teaser.
Well, 2-team, yeah.
Wow. All right. We're going to go Jacksonville Jaguars down to 1 point. We're going to go, let's see here. I think I really like the Bills. No, we're going to have the Seattle Seahawks down to 2.5. And we're going to take the Vikings down to 2.5.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with that. I'm not sure what the odds are on that. We'll have to figure that out
Man,
and post it.
I really hope the Vikings are good. This is going to be a mess if they're not.
Against the Bucks, I mean, come on. I mean, the famous last words, right?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck us. But and bonus lock.
Bonus loss is going to be Saints -3. Love the Saints in this spot. I just really think that they're going to just fucking pull the doors off.
My bonus lock is the Philadelphia Eagles -3.5. I almost wanted to throw. I wish. Actually, you know what? We're going to add them to the teaser, and we're going to make them -1 as well.
Okay.
So that's part of the teaser. So now it's a 4-team teaser. But yeah, I love the Eagles in the spot.
All right.
NFL Week 1, Mikey Rom.
Oh, I mean, feels good.
Shout out to everybody listening. We're actually going to be keeping track of our records, our locks, our dogs, our teases, bonus locks, all that good stuff, so that you guys can get a better understanding and feel for where we're at the season, and also ourselves, a little bit of self-reflection, so we can take a step back and look in the mirror if we're absolutely just shitting our pants, so we can reevaluate our strategy. So that's that.
Before we wrap, though, can we get let's do predictions on percentages this year.
I like that.
I'm going to come in. So we'll do our overall record and we'll do our locks percentage record. So,
oh boy.
So
but we don't know what the total number of games is that we're
locking.
No, that we're like the total record. Yeah. Oh, percentage wise.
Yeah. Yes. So for the season, I'm going to shoot for 57%. Professional gambler, Mikey Rom. Quit my job, Mikey Rom, 57%. For my locks, I'm going to shoot for 80%.
Wow. Okay. High standards.
I'm a high standards guy. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't like it.
Well, when I say 30% and look dumb, no.
So my overall record, man, I'm more Wayno baseballs, so I want to be. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to be humble here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go a step. I'm going to go a step below you, and I want to say 55%.
Okay.
All right. And I think for my locks, I do feel pretty confident with my locks week to week. I think that I'm a good micro better. I'm a good
I agree.
I'm not so much on the parlay wagon with the NFL is more of a straight better for game to game. So with that being said, because of that, my locks, I'm going 81%.
All right. I like that. All right.
81%, baby.
I like that.
81% of the locks.
If we both hit over 80%, we need to move to Vegas. You understand that, right?
If we hit over 80%, then we should have enough money to go on a nice little vacation.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right.
Shout out! I'm actually going to Punta Cana next month.
Really?
Yeah, we know Punta Canas.
Be careful with the hurricanes.
I know it is hurricane season. They actually said September 10th, which is my birthday. Shout out again. is actually the day that hurricane season is in peak. It's the peak day
what a
of
happy-
hurricane
what a
season.
happy day.
Luckily, we'll be in Well, I shouldn't say luckily. We will be in Massachusetts, tailgating from the driveway,
Yes, sir.
getting absolutely buck wild here on NFL Week 1. Mikey, it was a good episode. Any final thoughts, comments?
No, it's good. I'm excited for week 1. I'm excited just to play my ass on the couch and watch some football. I'm going to be coming home from a wedding on Sunday. I'm going to try to get over to Winnewagoos.
My God.
Yeah.
Who would do that? Such a thing?
Not a football fan. I'll tell you that. Not that fucking much.
Not a football family.
Listen, so, the wedding is Friday. I'm supposed to be coming home Sunday morning. So we'll see. I'm going to try to get home and watch some football. I'm going to try to get to Winnewago's house. No matter what, I'm going to be watching on my phone wherever I am. So, yeah.
There's gonna be barbecue there. A lot of barbecue, some chicken wings. I know you're a food guy.
Yeah, I'm a full guy. no question about it.
Well, before we wrap up the episode, as always, let's not forget our sponsors presented to you today. The podcast, Sunday Swagger. Go to sundayswagger.com. Use that promo code DGen15. You're going to get 50% off your entire bag at checkout. New sponsor here on the podcast, as we mentioned in the beginning, Sleeper. Go to the App Store, download Sleeper. Use that promo code RF-DGen podcast. Mikey, it's like player props galore. You can even do your fantasy football league on there. But if you go on there and use that promo code, Mikey, you can get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. Just think, you deposit $100, you get $100 back. That's $200. You throw that on a couple player props, aka Dak Prescott over 1.5 picks.
I love it.
Cash, we all win. We're all happy. And last but not least, Cape Cod Craft Cocktails. I smashed 3 today. They went down like water.
They're good.
They're fabulous. They're
Great.
delicious. So yeah, that's the podcast. Cheers to you guys. Hopefully you guys cash big this weekend. Best of luck. We're out.
Peace.